Hey everybody, how's it? This is Geebz here, your old composer here on the Twice Baked session. Something new that I'm doing here on YouTube. Already done one. I got a lot of good fun feedback about it. So here's what's happening. If you see this video right here, 1, 2, 3. If you notice, the red line is through it. It's because I've already heard it first. Now I'm going to hear it a second time after absorbing and marinating a little bit of what I heard. Bring you a couple of things to listen for up front, like the riffage when they open up. Pretty proggy. And actually, a little bit of an essence of, dare I say, kind of Rush/Boston, nostalgic kind of vibe. And what great guitar tones. Of course, I'm going to glam about some other things in the middle of it. I really super enjoyed this listen, even though Ghost is fairly new to me. And I know that they get a lot of that kind of feedback online about it being very core, old school rock style. But I got to tell you, the engineering on this was sick. But I don't know. You tell me. Let's do this together. So this is, and I read the title of this too, and I was like, Quad, did these guys do a cover? But it wasn't. Just want to let you know. This is Ghost called Phantom of the Opera. Let me bring it back. Start it up. Let's do this together. All right. Very proggy. That felt like that Boston turnaround. Rip that bass. Okay, so without a doubt, this is a cover, right? We know that. When I said it wasn't a cover, Phantom of the Opera, I was thinking of like the opera. But apparently this is an Iron Maiden cover of Phantom of the Opera, something of that nature. So did you guys hear it? Where it kind of felt a little bit of that Boston kind of turnaround when they were doing that. I think it was that maybe 2-bar turnaround going on there. Another thing that brings that home for me too is that you can hear the organ in the background there, like an old style Leslie kind of organ happening. We don't hear a lot of organ in rock music currently, right? We don't hear anything like that. Everything has progressed way beyond, I think, some of the organic structure of rock from the 70s and stuff. And I know that everybody says this always pulls from more nostalgia type of composition and stuff. That bass sound is so biting. It is so grindy. And it's not over the top. It's not over processed. This is what I love about what I'm hearing here. Engineering wise, everything is staying as true as it possibly can to whatever sounds they sculpted for the instrument. Not a lot of post weirdness going on. Not a lot of trickery. Fully relying on that fun riff that they're playing and just kind of charging through. And now the vocals, when the vocals come in now that too also reminds me, it's very nostalgic sounding. So once again, when it gets to that place where people say, it doesn't sound, Ghost sounds like that, but yes, they do. And I think that's why they have such a mass appeal to, let's just say, people who are more into the throaty, original, organic style type of composition, with rock metal. And I know a lot of people say I shouldn't even say metal, but what do I know, right? But let's go on. So Boston. I was gonna stop, but here comes the solo. Well, I was going to stop there, but no. Love how that note's been hanging out from the solo. It's still there. Okay, so at this point, this is where that part of where Ghost compositions for me, though I've only heard maybe 2 or 3 on the channel, where I do feel that this is just such a little, it's a powerful laid back section. It's not pushing our ears to try to expand themselves into, you know, really super sick riffage that we hear in so many great bands that are currently on their path musically, creatively, musicianship wise. You know, to a lot of I think what has happened to the ear, to a lot of heavy metal, metalcore and stuff like that, it's gotten so powerfully progressive with such great musicianship and stuff that sometimes I just feel that what I've read in the comments is that it may leave in the dust some of the masses of the core rock audience that are still just right down to the roots of just what we're hearing. That's not overly complicated. It's not pushing, once again, that like listening limits of like, you know, counting meters or doing things, wondering how they're doing it. It's just keep coming at you. Even something as laid back as a there is a big place for it in this audience, in the rock audience, and it works for the people that love Ghost. But there is another solo coming. Give me that bass. Dang. Some of the old school galloping. This solo's sick. And the other thing is too, is if, you know, this is it's a cover, right, of an Iron Maiden track. And, you know, one of the things that I was talking about, you know, the sound, the nostalgic sounds and stuff, and the crossovers of pulling in maybe what I thought was a little of the riffiness pop, the way it was sound, just the way I think the bass sounded with the cleanliness of the guitar and the riff kind of felt a little kind of Rush. You know, I know there's some people who are saying, "Oh, don't ever put those two in the same." But that call to action with that da 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 da. What really brought it for me, like I said, and gave me that Boston side was not only the organ and just it was just very nostalgic in that, was also the harmonies and the vocals in the background. Boston, yes, Boston Styx style background vocals on that as well. The solos too. The solos had little flares of some of the things that, you know, we or myself I've come to love as far as, like, you know, as far as technique and everything like that. There's a little tapping, there's a little legato, there's all kinds of stuff, but it's melodic. I think if you're going to do a cover, and I'm not really familiar with the original, and anybody who's an Iron Maiden fan, you know, I'm pretty sure you're pretty pumped on how this turned out. I know that the sound of Ghost and stuff predominantly reaches out to a little of the older my generation, perhaps, you know. But I've also found that there's a lot of people throughout all generations that can really latch onto this, and I think it's you know, powerful, accessible rock metal kind of vibe to it. So, you know, that's just my thing. But that's why I like doing this. I mean, this whole new thing where I listen to it first and come back and be able to give you some other things makes it really fun for me. And so yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So I hope you guys have a killer day. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Links down below for a cup of coffee and all that sort of fun stuff. And also my Twitch link also will be down below. All right, guys, take care. Have a killer day. See ya.